You know, we certainly considered this case like we did every other case, as far as this is an individual who violated the laws of this state. Certainly he was a very popular member of the New Orleans Saints, but we really can't give him any special consideration if he is involved in the serious charges that he was involved in here. You know, we fortunately did not have to try this case. Mr. Sharper entered a plea of guilty, so we really don't know what effect or impact that would have had on the jury or a jury in Orleans Parish. But essentially, these were women that were met. They met them in a social setting. They were engaging in the drinking of alcoholic beverages. In some cases, there was not even alcohol used by one of the victims, but things were put in their drinks. They were drugged, and as a result of the drug state that they were in, they took advantage of them, so to speak, sexually. I feel very comfortable that we would have been successful had the case proceeded to trial with a jury in Orleans Parish. I think to some extent, you know, Mr. Sharper was able to take advantage of an opportunity to avoid a life sentence, and it really is up to him now. I appreciate the fact that he has accepted responsibility. This individual will be required to serve a sentence in the federal system for approximately 101 months. He is also then going to be required to go back to the state of California, where he will serve, I believe it is a little bit less than a year on the California sentence. Then his matter will be, then he will be placed on probation in the state of California for a 3 to 5 year period. He will also then be transferred to the state of Arizona, where he will be serving essentially a lifetime probation in the state of Arizona. If at any time he violates any of the terms or the conditions of that parole, it's really a lifetime parole in Arizona, he will then be required to go to jail in the state of Arizona for a period of 14 years. So there is a significant period that is hanging over his head. I mean, essentially he will be on probation for the rest of his life. His travel will be restricted. He will be required to stay in Arizona for the larger portion of his life. So from the perspective of the sentence, I do believe this is to some extent an onerous sentence on Mr. Sharper. And under the circumstances of this case, the victims get that closure by his admitting to the world that he is responsible for this event, and the victims have a right to take the stand and give some impact and let the judge know just how they have been affected as a result of this event. Justice is we're working, it's working, and it's working well. That certainly it's, again, an unfortunate event, but I think that when people stand up and they're, regardless of how big the opponent may be, but when you stand up and you want to be counted and you're going to say, this is not going to happen to me, this was wrong, and I'm going to let others know about it. People are here to help you. And I think that's really the lesson here, that no one is above the law. No one. You know, the case is not over with. We still have a ways to go. There are other defendants out there. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a public official. It doesn't matter if you're a football player. It doesn't matter if you're in law enforcement. If you break the law, we're going to do everything we can to come after you and make the rules apply to everyone and not just some.